It's time again to register for the Photo Imaging Connect conference at the Rio Hotel, March 1st and 2nd, 2026. Go to www.photoimagingconnect.com for more information on the program and take advantage of the early bird pricing.
The Dead Pixel Society podcast is brought to you by Mediaclip, Advertech Printing, and Independent Photo Imagers. Welcome to the Dead Pixel Society podcast, the photo imaging industry's leading news source. Here's your host, Gary Peugeot.
Hello again and welcome to the Dead Pixel Society podcast. I'm your host, Gary Peugeot, and today we're joined by an old industry friend, Marion Duchesne, who is the CEO of Mediaclip, and they're based in Montreal. I don't know anyone who doesn't know who Mediaclip is and hasn't met Marion at some of the numerous events over the past years, but she's here to talk about the future and trends in product personalization. Hi, Marion. How are you today?
Hi, Gary. Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
First, let's talk a little bit about Mediaclip as a company, how you started it, what you saw as the opportunity back then to start really one of the first high-quality photo personalization software companies.
Yes, thanks. We will be celebrating our 20 years of existing in 2026.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I used to work for Bell Canada, which is a telco company. And I was in strategic planning and voiceover applicating, and it was so boring. So I decided to get pregnant at that time. And it's during my maternity leave that I wanted to put pictures of my babies on things to give as a gift to grandparents and, friends and so on. And I realized that there were nothing on the market, and the software were so complicated, or they didn't offer any tools. I've decided to call Loblaws, Costco, and Walmart as well in Toronto. Mm-hmm. And I got appointments pretty easily with no contacts. So that was surprising. So that gave me an insight that there was something to do there. And so I've started providing a DVD service to Loblaws and Fujifilm Canada. So people were going on Loblaws, uploading their photo, choosing music, and we're burning DVDs with the pictures, with slideshows, and so on. Mm-hmm. So, but the volume was not big enough. So I was planning to go back to my job. But Fuji came to me and said, "Do you know somebody that can develop photo book software?" Mm-hmm. So I had friends who had development service company, and we decided to move forward, and we've developed our first Flash version of photo book. Mm-hmm. And then Fuji came back to us because it was really, really cool. Because Flash was enabling really nice and cool UI back then.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they asked for other products. So I had put all my economies and savings in this. So I've decided to start my own company. So I took the employees, from which I have 3 of them that are still with me. Mm-hmm. And we started Mediaclip at that time. And we've realized that investing in, software for one product was too expensive. So we start what we know as Mediaclip right now. So we're selling an on-premise solution, offering any type of personalized product. But 10 years ago, we decided to, when they said that Flash was like devil, we write everything in JavaScript. And then we've decided to bring our solution in the cloud. Mm-hmm. So we started, and now we have the Mediaclip Hub, which is, I would say, our main product. We still have some customers on the on-premise version, but most of our customers are on the cloud now. So here we are, 20 years later.
What I find fascinating is you stayed kind of committed to the vision of the gorgeous UI environment, but you've managed to change that across different platforms, right? You started on DVDs, then you went to Flash, then you kind of changed all those things, but the consistent thing has sort of been the Mediaclip process. And I think that's probably attributable to some of your longtime employees. Like you said, you've had people there from the beginning, which is highly unusual for a company 20 years along to have the same leadership team.
Yeah, and I would say that even in our existing employee base, we almost have no churn, which is really amazing. I'm pretty lucky. So we developed the knowledge of the industry because it's easy to do a software. It's not that much complicated. It requires a lot of investment though, but to get a product from, the user, get what they see online is a challenge. And limit the production error and so on. There's a lot of knowledge that we've built over time. So our current competency is really the conversion rate and make it easy for the user. So we kept that line. And I think that seeing all the retailers offering more and more products, I find it exciting because I think that everything needs to be personalized.
Yeah.
I like to be unique. I'm the kind of person that like to have my own stuff. So, so it's just exciting. And the industry is still exciting, even after 20 years.
And one of the things that I think that is interesting about your company is, unlike a lot of people who kind of started the photo software companies, is that you yourself are the customer, right? You created what you wanted to create, as opposed to you saw this great investment opportunity and you dumped a bunch of money into it. You actually said, I want to create what I want out of this industry. Exactly. So I've started wanting to put pictures on products, and that's what we're doing right now. So I think that's one of those Mediaclip's strengths at some point, the user experience. And obviously it's really because we're a bunch of women in Mediaclip, as you know. And I think that, we are the target market, most of it. And we have some regards on user experience because developers, they do really cool stuff. Yeah. But, they don't buy much products. Now they do because they have kids, but I think that having this perspective of the consumer, I think is a big strength at Mediaclip. I think it is too. And also you mentioned the conversion rates, right? Because we've all seen the issues with people creating products. They spend time with photo books. They spend time making collages and things, but then they don't buy. Yeah. Right. I mean, that's always been an industry challenge. What has been Mediaclip's approach to addressing that specifically?
So we work on make it easy for the user to create their product. So we offer a lot of templates. In the conversion rate, you have to give a UI that provide functionalities, but not like a pizza. So we're doing a lot of testing and user testing. It has to look, to have a nice and clean UI. Yeah. Also, we are developing features where you don't have to get into a designer. Obviously, between you and me, you want to create a Canva or you want to create one photo product. You don't need that much a designer, Right. So we're working on things like click to print, or we have some work that we're doing right now with some AI that we will launch, obviously, hopefully this year. But to make it easier for the user, because all they want is to do quick product. Right. And I think that AI will help us with that. And also we provide a lot of functionalities where we do merchandising. So we take the collage and the creation that the user have done and we put it on other products. So we have upsell and cross-sell functionalities within the builder. So that helps a lot as well in terms of conversion and basket value. So I think it's important to think about the user. And I think this is something we are doing well. So one of the things I think you mentioned AI, which is kind of interesting because I've talked to your technical team and your CTO, Christian, for a few times, and he's always kind of said, he hasn't had the warmest regards for AI specifically, but you guys have always had machine learning and all of those kind of things. You've had that for years, actually. Yes, we do. And we do a lot of stuff. AI is the big buzzword as well. So we have a lot of pieces of technology that are algorithms, and we have nice stuff. We have like a really cool autofill that we've developed. So yeah, we've been working with this for quite a long time. But on the user side, we've developed a connector for AI for our retailers to choose where they want AI. We wanted to learn before making sure that we provide an AI functionality that really brings value to the end user, because it's very expensive. AI is expensive right now.
Yeah.
So we've developed a connector, and we don't think that we've grasped exactly where the AI should go. Right. We have a lot of ideas. We will, we have some products and features coming this year, but I think that at the end, the consumer wants it to be really easy and quick. So they want to have they want to be in the moment and get the product in the single action. Right. And this is why I think that the designer should be, how can I say that? I want to be irrelevant. I want a designer to be irrelevant. Right. And we're doing a lot of stuff in that sense right now. We're prototyping a lot of stuff. So, But
that's actually pretty trendy right now, that sort of idea where the application kind of disappears behind the user experience, right? I mean, that's kind of what's happening in the AI world with ChatGPT and Gemini sort of becoming part of other applications, and no one, people are going to be calling to AIs as part of just, hey, make me a mug with my picture on it, and the AI will just find all the assets and do it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So when you started out, things were really different, right? There were no real smartphones. There was a big screen. So you've had to do a lot of adaptation to not only different screen sizes, but now different product sizes. I know, for example, one of the challenges that every personalized product platform has is, dealing with garments, right? Shirts, you're now printing on shirts and clothing and pillowcases and fabrics and all these other things, which are wildly different than where you came from.
But the advantage that we have since the beginning is that we've developed not only a designer. The designer is what you see as a UI, but Mediaclip solution is really based on APIs, which means that we can adapt pretty quickly to any changes in the customer demand. So like you said, we're launching this year our overprint apparel website for us to test the market. Right. And we got some challenges because of the quality, of the print on a shirt or whatsoever, but it was a challenge. We developed the knowledge, and now we will be able to provide all over print in the software, but it was API and design challenges, but we got over it. So the architecture led us to adapt to any changes. So I think that's something that we did pretty good. It was a good decision at the beginning. Yeah, I think the architecture, and thanks to Christian, because with the developers, they really create an architecture that, we're still there, and we get an evolution without huge investment, which is pretty cool.
I think one of the things that has kind of made Mediaclip a success in the marketplace is you've chosen not to do some things, right? Like I remember when, I know it was like 10 years ago, you said, we're not going to do a shopping cart. We're just not going to do this. And I think it was one of the best decisions you probably made, because that was a big distraction, right? You integrated with WooCommerce and Shopify and all those people. So tell me a little bit about your thinking in reaching that decision. Because that's where everyone was going 10 years ago. We're going to build a complete solution. We're going to build everything.
Yeah, I think that's where my MBA helped me as an entrepreneur. I would say that's one of, I think, the only thing that helped me. I have learned that, the core competency had to focus on it. And core competency of creating a designer for product personalization is totally different of building an e-commerce platform. And even at that time, we see a lot of e-commerce platform building up with marketplaces and tools for conversion, for marketing. And obviously, the market, in the market as a retailer, you need to have those tools to get to the consumer, because really expensive. The customer acquisition is expensive. So you need all the tools provided by the e-commerce ecosystem. So we didn't want to go on that path because, it was not part of our competencies, and it would require a huge investments to keep up and provide the right tools. So instead, we decided to develop plugins for the e-commerce platform to make sure, to remove the technical barrier for retailers. So now they can install Shopify, by example, our solution in Shopify, and, click, and it's done. Then they just have to configure their products. So I think it was a good decision. But to be honest, sometimes we question ourselves if that's a good idea. But no, we kept on building a designer, and I think that was a good and right decision.
Yeah. I mean, looking back, I think, other people have adopted that sort of approach, right? Where it's really in the software development world, it's very difficult to be all things and to be great at all things, unless you're a Microsoft or a Google or Apple or something. And even then, they get it wrong a lot of the times, right? Yeah. So I think that was, as a corporate decision, that was a great decision. So looking forward to 2026, we're recording this in January. It's going to drop in early February. The year is young. What are some of the product personalization trends you see? Because obviously, like you said, we mentioned apparel. Apparel seems to be a hot thing. The whole creator economy idea seems to be a hot thing, plugging into those networks where you have, influencers and YouTubes or whatever having merch stores and those kind of things, right? So what is your perspective on that as a trend?
I think that the market is booming. To be honest, I'm still on the high from the 2025 holiday seasons number.
Oh, great.
Most of our customers succeed with double-digit growth, and it's pretty exciting. And I think one of the reasons is because they had products in their offering, and users are demanding more and more product, not just souvenir, but also gifts like engraving and so on, and also lifestyle products. So I think that the long tail strategy was the right one, and I think this will continue as well. Another driving force, I think, is the insecurity. Insecurity is not isolated anymore in some regions in the world. It arises in many regions now. So, and when people feel insecure, that leads to nostalgia.
Okay.
And as a defense mechanism, there's a lot of studies that shows that people, when they feel insecure, they tend to look back at good memories, and it makes feel them like more safer and grounded. So they buy emotionally charged products. And I think that photo keepsake is a way to hold on to that. So I think that the market will grow significantly in 2026. So I think that the curve will continue. So this is pretty exciting. As for the trends like AI will be everywhere on the user side, but also in product personalization. So I think that we're going to see more effective tools for the layouts, suggest creative designs, photo edition as well. So I think that AI will take its place, and I think it's going to be more effective. We'll see as well. I think, there's been a lot of work done, omni-channel personalization initiative, but I think some will be successul this year because the user don't go on a website now that much to buy products. So usually you follow them from an emails or an ad, and you bring them directly into the product itself. So you don't have to reset the experience. So I think that, each touch point will remember what the user was interested in, and will provide them, the right product at the right moment already made. So I don't think that people will still shop that much. I think that with the AI and, we will be able to provide a user, by example, you give access to a retailer, access to your photos, and you're going to have ads or email with your photo on the product, and the only thing you will have to do is click buy, you know. So
Right.
I think this strategy will be more successful. We have the tools now, so we will see, I think, nice success in that matters.
Now, when you talk about AI,
Yeah.
where do you see the place for generative AI specifically in terms of, a lot of people are using AI for, product selection or things like that. But what about like creating a picture? Some people feel very strongly that that's a big opportunity. Other people see that's more entertainment. It's not for, like you said, nostalgia, right? It's not creating printable images because it's not authentic and real. Where do you see that going?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ever wonder what top-tier financial strategists leveraging the power of AI are actually thinking? Welcome to What's Kenna French Thinking, a deep dive into the mind of a #1 Amazon best-selling author, co-hosted by Kenna French and Elaine Mingus. We're bringing you industry titans such as Sharon Lechter of Rich Dad, Poor Dad fame, Laurel Langmeyer from The Secret, and real estate mogul Ron LeGrand. We view the world through the lens of AI, advanced tax strategy, and high-level business with a ton of fun to boot. Search What's Kenna French Thinking on Spotify, Apple, Buzzsprout. Start thinking bigger. Find out what Kenna French is thinking today.
I think that younger people, they tend to like, because we had the conversation internally in the corporate activity. And I don't understand this because I'm old. I'm 53 years old. But I've been told that they want to have pictures like, at the top of a mountain, even though they've never been there. For me, I don't want a picture of me somewhere I didn't go.
Right.
But for them, it's kind of a tool for self-promotion.
Yeah.
Obviously. So,
but will they print that? That's the question.
I think if you provide them the right product and you provide them at the right moment, just like I said, they have a moment they want to create a product in a single action. So I think that there's an opportunity for the generative AI, I think. But right now, for home decor, that's good. You want to have, I want to have, I don't know, a zebra in my living room. And I want it to be pink because my sofa is pink. You can create your own images. So I think in home decor, that's that's really relevant.
Yeah, I can totally see that where you would, let's say you're putting together a display of wall tiles and things, and you want to adapt the pictures to match your furniture.
Yes, exactly. So I think there's a lot of opportunities generating. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Because, like you said, I'll just admit I'm older than you are. So when I see these things, I just don't see them as output opportunities as much. And that's just maybe my own personal bias, because I'm not a kid anymore. So, but, because when I think of printer output, I think of more like you. I think of permanence, authenticity, reality, preservation. But again, that's, it's a cultural thing. So interesting. You said you had an internal discussion on this topic. Now, let's talk a little bit about your team on this, right? So, you've grown over the years. So have you made a point of bringing on younger people with different perspectives to help you on that?
Yes, exactly. So we had, I had an activity where I was asking them, where do you see Mediaclip in 10 years? And what kind of products we will be offering? What kind of product will be personalized? And that was pretty fun because they had some ideas that I had a few years back, but they came up with their perspective. And I think that, I cannot myself dictate where we're going because, like I said, I'm older. My kids grew up already. I'm a grandmother now, so maybe I'll come back to some instant, but I don't get it that much, all those fake images and, this is not, I'm older. So I need their ideas, their perspective, their experience and what they're looking for. And that helps me to, build the future, obviously.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's important, right? I mean, to stay true to your mission of, kind of the creativity, the expression, whatever, but not be so firm in your past experience to neglect where the industry is going.
Yes, exactly. Because, you get some bias over time, especially after 20 years. And like I said, I have a lot of people are working with me since many years.
Yeah.
So we've developed this kind of, mindset over time.
Right.
And we need to make sure that we don't, stay there. We have to open up and, put all those walls down. Mm-hmm. So I need to be challenged. And that's what I like for young people. Yeah.
So one of the things that's kind of changed is, you mentioned, you were working with some big retailers back in the time. Well, the whole retail landscape has changed, right? Kiosks were a thing. They're less of a thing now. There's still a few out there, obviously, thousands, but not what they used to be. And so it's quite possible in the near future, there will be fewer bigger retailers, but a lot of tiny micro retailers.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, the market is changing a lot. And there's a market concentration as well right now that we see in the printing side, and customer behavior is changing. I don't think that, like I said, people, want a product pretty quickly, and the omni-channel personalization initiatives will lead to fragmentation. So I don't think that retailer will be where people will buy their photo products anymore. I think social media, AI, tools like Gemini or ChatGPT or some kind of integration with those AI. So I think that things are changing. And
retailers still will have a place. I mean, they always will, but their relationship will have to evolve as well, right? They're going to have to enable social purchasing and all of those kind of things to be relevant to customers, right?
Exactly. And that's true for any type of products, I think.
Right.
So, yeah.
But even photo is a little different, and I'm used photo in quotes because it's obviously more than that. But it's really the only product I know of where the user is required to input visual content to create something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's the only thing that's out there. Like if you're shopping for a pair of shoes, you're not uploading your design of the shoes and
I hope eventually that.
Well, eventually we will be able to do that, obviously, with 3D printing and all these other wonderful things coming. But right now, I mean, photo's always been that way. And that's always been the challenge, I think, to the industry is activating the consumers, right? Getting people to, finish that photo book they started, or look at that great picture and not just be happy with it on a screen to say, no, I need a physical copy of that in another form, right? I need a wall art. I need this. I need that. So do you think that's going to change over time with AI, where AI made, like you said, pre-create products for you?
I think this is where we all need to go. I think this is what they're expecting. To have products already made, they will be willing to give access to their pictures.
Right.
And we're getting a lot of information so we can provide them already built product.
Right.
And I think that's key. We will still have some customers like photo book. A lot of people like to put a lot of time and they put their art in the
absolutely.
So it depends on the product, obviously, and the meaning of it. Is it a gift? Is it a souvenir? Is it, but I think that we're going to have the challenge to provide them the right product already built.
Well, again, we were talking earlier about biases, and I think those biases are going to be really apparent because there was a time where, people of a certain age were reluctant to give information.
Yeah.
Your private information. Now, younger people have no problem with that if they're going to get something out of it, right? And
exactly.
In the scenario you're talking about, not only do I give, let's say, Google Gemini access to my pictures, but Google Gemini has seen my apartment, and it knows I've got a bare spot on the wall. And it would say, what would look good there would be this picture of your pink zebra, right? I mean, I think it's going to get to that point where it's going to know so much about you and it knows your preferences that it'll suggest products or things for your environment or things you might enjoy.
Yeah, I totally agree. But the funny thing is that right now we see a huge challenge with the security and accessibility.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we see that, like the European Accessibility Act, we have the GDPR that they keep, adding more and more and more
Mhm. Yeah.
constraint, I would say. So it's
Yeah.
kind of a little bit paradoxal. I don't know if we can say that in English, but yeah, it's funny because we get those laws, but on the other side, you see younger people that are willing to give away all the information if they get something out of it.
Right.
So not sure what.
And you are a global company, so I mean
Yeah.
that is one of the challenges you have, I'm sure, in many of these countries. Like you,
Oh, yeah.
you have different laws in different countries in terms of what you can access, what you can do, what you can suggest. That must take several team members alone just to manage that.
It's a huge headache. And like I said, the Accessibility Act, by example, we had before that WCAG in US and North America, and now we have to comply with this act. So we need to change the UI, and it's a lot of investment. And obviously that doesn't bring that much to my customer. And it's, for us, so it's to be honest, it's a boring thing. But we need to do that. And same and you see the cyber attacks, like I get a certification for ISO 27001, and I think everyone will need to get those compliance and certification.
Absolutely.
But it's a lot of investment, and in each regions there's specific laws. In Japan for data privacy, they have their own laws. So it brings a lot of headache. It's bringing a lot of headache, especially because we deal with, major retailers or global companies. So we have to comply to all those things.
But it's just part of the cost of doing business, right? The whole, like you said, the whole cybersecurity thing and all that. I mean, no one's going to make more photo books or wall decor because you've got an impenetrable website. I mean, it's just the cost of doing business you got to deal with.
Totally agree.
So you mentioned earlier, as we come to the conclusion, that you're very bullish on 2026. Can you kind of expand on that in terms of maybe other trends that we haven't discussed that you think are going to be driving this? You mentioned nostalgia. You mentioned, personalization. You mentioned, the creator economy. Is there anything else out there that you think is going to help?
But I think that the products, all the new technologies on the production side, it's pretty exciting. We're seeing like all the Cornet, for example, development for apparel is huge, and it brings new sets of products and materials. And so it's pretty exciting. I think we will see also more on the sustainability side, because people want products that are purposeful or eco-conscious. So I think that trend will grow as well and bring some opportunities in the market as well.
Yeah, especially when you have the possibility of local fulfillment versus, shipping something across the country. If it's going to be fulfilled locally, there's an environmental component of that. Exactly.
So I think that will push the market as well. I think 2026 will be good.
Good. So where can people go for more information about, learning more about Mediaclip and all the great things you guys do?
Yeah, sure. Come on our website, www.mediaclip.ca.
There you go. A proud Canadian company.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Great to see you and great to talk to you. Hope to see you in person one of these days, sometime soon.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you for listening to the Dead Pixel Society podcast. Read more great stories and sign up for the newsletter at www.thedeadpixelssociety.com.